They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Heinz Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They run with Harris. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
On 2nd down, it's Harris, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
This, the second meeting of these 2 teams. You might recall they met back in week 5, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Play action. It's Fields. He'll dump this off to Sermon, complete.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Fields now to throw. This to the outside, it's Sermon.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him go, and he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Binds. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. A quick throw out wide to Mooney. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. And most people think of Derek Carr kind of as a guy who excels throwing the short pass, but he can dial it up when need be.
And we knew that this offense was going to try and put pressure on the secondary. That was something they talked about with us. They knew that they had an advantage, pressed it, and there you go. Big play for a touchdown on their very first possession.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On play action, Fields. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he will have a Steelers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. That's swung out wide to Harris. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
54 Mike. Check. Watch 54.
From the gun, here's Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere.
Mike 54. Mike 54.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. To throw, it's Carr. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. These two teams all tied after one. Second and 11 now. Not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now Carr to try again after the pick 6. Shark's got it left side. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that. Now
Blankenship on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They started on the ground with Eckler, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Carr. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They hand this off to Harris. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On the give, this is Harris. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Second and 21. A lot of ground to cover. To throw is Fields. Checks it down to Sermon out of the backfield. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing on third down, Fields. He will find his man Chase complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. What's up?
Now a first down carry for Harris. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 9, Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Out of the gun, Fields. And he's got his target, Harris. And he'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And he's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll try and run with Harris. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They'll try to run with Harris. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And this time he is in.
Yes.
Najee Harris, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Oh, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You know, following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Justin Reed. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Fields on 1st down. He gets it complete to Harris. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now a 1st down throw. Fields to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Fields. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Mike Gesicki in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster in the first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Carr over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. With it is Brown. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll run on 1st down. Harris shifts past him at the 45. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Fields.
He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Flush to his right. And that's complete. It's Sims. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He'll dump this off to Sermon, complete.
And in for the Steelers, touchdown.
Trey Sermon.
His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now Carr. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
Check. Wide or one.
To throw his Carr. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. These two teams met in Baltimore. You might remember earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side and complete to Hurst. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
He's going to let this one go deep. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. And this throw incomplete. Defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Brings up 3rd down and 10. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. It's Fields. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Back near his goal line. Here's Carr. Right side, Claypool's got it. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On play action, now Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Ravens have got it. Running on first down, Eckler. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 42 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Eckler. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Lutz with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, Fields looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Fields. Flushed out right.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. On 1st down, it's Harris. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now left side on the swing pass.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The Steelers on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 8. Now Fields. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a play fake. Carr.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And Carr gives himself up, but not before he picks up a 1st down.
Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there, excellent, because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
On play action, it's Carr. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another